on in this life we're fighting for? Is it for fame, financial gain, or just pain? The sky stars love. Cause every fairy tale starts to change up when the good times gone. It could I be real, could I be fake? Reality tough, but we still need love. And I know I hurt you, but how you gonna do me like that? How you gonna do me like that, oh baby? Why you gonna do me like that? We came so far. How you gonna do me like that? Cause I hurt you and you do me right back. We came so far, but I guess love hurts sometimes. It just don't work sometimes. I know love hurts sometimes, but that's fine. It hurts sometimes. It just don't work sometimes. I know love hurts sometimes, and it's fine. Yeah, we can do anything for love, anything for love. Yeah, we can do anything for love. Depends on who's playing. I was caught up in your web of love, no escaping. Cause hurt people, honestly, we are all victims. The same thing, oh. But how you gonna do me like that? How you gonna do me like that, oh baby? Why you gonna do me like that? We came so far. How you gonna do me like that? Cause I hurt you and you do me right back. We came so far, but I guess love hurts sometimes. It just don't work sometimes. I know love hurts sometimes, but that's fine. It hurts sometimes. It just don't work sometimes. I know love hurts sometimes, and it's fine. Yeah, we can do anything for love, anything for love. Yeah, we can do anything for love. Anything for love, yeah, we could do anything for love. Anything for love, yeah, we could do anything for love. Anything for love.
Some people will do anything for love. Will you? Greetings and salutations, one and all. How you doing?
Baby, why you gonna do me like that? We came so far. How you gonna do me like that? Cause I hurt you and you do me right back. We came so far.
I want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now.
It just don't work sometimes.
Those tuned in on TuneIn Radio on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Much love to you.
Sometimes it just don't work sometimes. I know love.
I want to say big ups to those out in New Jersey on NIE Radio. Motivator. Thank you for the love, brother. Some people wouldn't really understand. I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on CR7 Cloud Radio 7. Big ups to those on PEMGTV.com. Much love to you. Big ups to those who are hailing from right here in South Florida and the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Big ups to you. Greetings and salutations to those on Facebook Live. Remember, it's only a segment, so don't get too comfortable. I'll take that love, Jan, and I'll see you some love. As a matter of fact, I'll raise you some love. Yeah, man, we're playing poker around here.
It just don't work sometimes.
Or is it poke her? In the background, the sound of Pretty. A track called Love Hurts. You know, it's true, right? Love hurts. But when does it hurt? When you're in it or when you get out of it? At what point does the pain come? I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.
Honestly, we are all victims. The
those of you who are on Facebook Live, use the link that is pinned in the comment section. Come on over. Jump into the stew pot. If you're wondering what the stew pot is, speaking of stew pot, big ups to those listening in on the stew pot on Zeno FM.
We came so far, but I guess
Much love to you too. But I digress.
sometimes I know love.
The stew pot is what others call a chat room when you go to kevinstew.com. But because we're fancy, yeah man, it's where we keep things interactive and bubbling.
I know love hurts sometimes.
So go to kevinstew.com. You don't need to register. You don't need to give a blood offering. You don't need to pay anything.
Anything for love,
If you want to make a donation, you can do it on the website. It's welcomed.
anything for love,
It keeps the broadcast going.
anything.
You can do that for love. How about that?
How you gonna do me like that? Cause I hurt you and you do me right back. We
But come on over, kevinstew.com. That's where all the excitement happens.
just don't work sometimes,
From now until we get done tonight with the broadcast.
but that's fine. It hurts sometimes,
I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Paul C Media Group.
hurts sometimes.
When being in the moment is priceless, go ahead and give them a call. They take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads.
Anything for love, here we go.
They do everything you see here on kevinstew.com and so much more. You have a church service, a funeral, a seminar, a wedding, a party, you name it, a graduation.
Anything for love,
You want to stream it live on a secure platform? They give you that platform to use, whether it is theirs or yours. They can hook you up. Give them a call, 754-999-1140.
the same
Or check them out online, pulseemg.com.
like that. How you gonna do me like
Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you.
Why you gonna do me like that? We came so far. How you gonna do me like that?
How you gonna do me like that?
Right back. We came so far.
Invite you to call a friend, tell a friend, share with a friend. Friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because it's information for everybody.
Sometimes it just don't work sometimes.
It's real talk.
I've heard some
Right here on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew.
and it's fine.
And the question of the day,
Anything for love,
is it better to have loved?
anything for love. Here we go. Anything,
So, the question, it refers to that good old statement.
anything for love.
It's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. But is that really the case?
Everything for love.
I should do a poll on that. So those of you who are tuned in right now, those are you locked in.
Everything for love.
I want to hear from you. Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all?
The same thing.
And I'm inviting you to participate tonight. You can participate via the stew pot. You can participate via the Facebook live chat. And of course, you can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram to 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. One more time. 773-789-7839. Call me, text me, WhatsApp me, Telegram me, hit me up. Let me know. But most importantly, I want you to call me if you can. Just drop me a quick line and tell me your views. Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? And of course, you can jump into the stew pot on kevinstew.com. You can remain anonymous, or you can tell your name, and so that I know who it is I'm interacting with. But outside of that, I'll just call you the number that you pop up as. The number is scrolling across the bottom of your screen right there for those of you who are watching. Whether you're watching on kevinstew.com, PEMGTV.com, or on Facebook Live. Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? Thank you, Preety, with that track called Love Hurts. Now, I guess you could look at this from several angles. You have the angle of the individual who says, if I never love, then I don't have to go through the pain of if that love ends, or when that love ends. Because we have learned that nothing lasts forever, right? And then you have the other school that says, well, if you have not loved, then how would you know what you're losing? Would it really matter? And you wouldn't have had that experience that sets you apart from everyone else in that little time. Hey Dora, how you doing? Big ups to my friends down there in Brazil, Radio Crystal Gospel. Much love to you. Big up, big up, big up to you. So what is it? Is it better to have loved, to never have loved, or to have loved and lost? You know, in as social beings, as ones who, one of the very first stories we hear is the story of the Creator loving us so much that he gives his son to die for us. Now, when you look at something like that, is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? Because taking it from a biblical sense, as to how that story goes in Christianity, that love was because of the love for us, the people at the time and the people to come. So here you have someone going to die for you. Okay, so a comment here on Facebook Live. Hey Loris. Hi Loris. You know, it's nice to see you pop up. I love you. Just so that you remember. I'm telling you out loud. Just so that you remember, okay? Look back at the lessons learned and those blessings received. So, yes, it is better to have loved and lost. So, you might look at this similarly to how I look at it, Loris, where the loss is not so much of a loss, but more of a lesson. You learn from things that happen. And I don't even want to say you learn from your mistakes, because the relationships that didn't work out, I don't call them mistakes. I call them lessons. You learn something from them. Haven't you learned something from your failed relationships? And I'm speaking generally. I'm not talking to anyone in particular. Haven't you learned something? Love is the greatest. I would do it again and again and again. Thank you, Jan. Thank you. I love the feedback. Now I want some of you all to be brave enough to call me up and share some of your feedback. Let's have a little bit of a dialogue on the air, if you so are inclined. You know, just go ahead, take the plunge, do it till you're satisfied. Yeah, but go for it. According to Medium.com, there's an article on here that reads. Let me see, who was it that wrote this article? Tessia Blake, or she could pronounce her name Tisha, but Tessia Blake. My instinct used to be to call BS on the quote, "It's better to love and lost than to never have loved at all." And it's the age-old saying, right? So, and she goes on to say, how could it possibly be better to have loved and lost than to never have loved? How could heartbreak and pain possibly be better than a sane mind and a calm heart? Well, Is there a way to avoid loving and losing? Because you are born into love. You're born of love. Even those that were raped and got pregnant, they developed a bond with that child growing in them. So here comes love, although out of something not fun at all. There's this life, and there's this bond, and there's this love that surpasses all understanding. She goes on to say, I used to take peace of mind over anxiety of love lost any day, but not anymore. I wonder why. What changed? Fresh out of a relationship to which I gave my all, I can now honestly say I'd rather have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Amongst the heartbreak, I'm happy because I dared to take the risk of love. I dared to hope, to dream, to make plans. I built a vision for my future with someone else, someone whom I cared about and thought I would go on to love forever. Someone I kind of still love, and that might never go away. Well, might have to ask the question, does love really die? True or otherwise? Does it die? The song says true love never dies, right? The article continues. I lost, though, and I'm still processing the new reality of saying goodbye to something I thought of as certain. It wasn't just love that I lost, but my safe haven, my partner in crime, my future, and it hurts. This time, however, I choose hurt over peace. I choose to invest in a relationship until it had run its course, and I don't regret it. I haven't given up on finding lasting love, even though the love I thought would last is over. I'm happy to have tried, to have allowed myself to be vulnerable, to have given my heart a license to express itself to its maximum. I have loved and lost, and for the first time, I think that's better than to never have loved at all. So, is it worth it? What makes it worth it? According to Tessia, it's giving her heart license to express itself to its maximum. So think of that toy you had as a child. That favorite toy. Whether it is a doll house, a car, an action figure, whatever it is. You have that one toy. That's your go-to toy. Could be a stuffed toy, could be a blanket, whatever. You develop this bond to this thing. And for whatever period of time, that thing is your safe haven. That thing is what creates that space where nothing else matters. And you get to enjoy it to its fullest. Your imagination runs wild with it. Anything that goes on in the world comes and goes by, and it doesn't faze you once that thing is there. Then you lose it. Whether it is destroyed, or you move and it gets lost in the move, or you outgrow it. Either way, you no longer have it. And that thing is gone forever. But the memory of that thing lives on, doesn't it? I remember I used to have this pullback car. It was black, and I remembered somehow managing to change the back wheels on that. So it sat higher at the back than it did at the front. Because, it looked cool and it looked fast. And that drawback car, that pullback and release car, was my favorite toy for a long time. And I had others that I would sometimes race and sometimes just pretend to race and just drive them around on the bed, on the floor, on the wall, on a tree, on the back porch, on you name it. I had it everywhere on the furniture. I you know I had that car and others with it everywhere, but that one was never left out of the mix. Where is that little car now? I have no clue. But I enjoyed it. Then I got a bicycle. My very first bicycle. And I had that bicycle for a very long time. In fact, I only owned 2 bicycles after that. Both of which I inherited. In fact, I inherited all my bicycles, all 3 of them. But that very first one was a mongoose stunt bicycle. I remember it clearly. It was a chrome mongoose stunt bicycle. And none of my friends had anything like it. They had bikes. None of them had anything like mine. It had pegs at the front, pegs at the back. In fact, it had fold-up pegs at the front. And the nut pegs on the back. And I remember riding out on that bike and doing tricks on that bike and my friends wanting to do tricks on my bike and we would exchange bikes. In fact, I chipped my tooth, my front tooth here. Not on that bike, but on my friend's bicycle as he rode mine. Crazy, right? I was doing all kind of stunts on my bicycle. Never had any major injuries. Here I am riding my friend's bicycle and he's riding mine and I fall off his and chip my tooth. But I loved that bicycle. And I got to a point in my life where I really wasn't riding it at all. Because I had started working and I was riding less. And then I started driving and I wasn't riding at all. But I loved that bicycle. And there's a boy delivering newspapers. And we gave away the bicycle to that boy. And he was elated when he got that bike. Because now he can deliver newspapers. He can deliver more newspapers. He can deliver because he could deliver papers faster. So now he can deliver more. And he can make more money. And he was so happy. But I loved that bicycle and I had lost it. But look what had happened. That bicycle that I loved so much now brought new life to someone else. So, was it better for me that I had loved and lost that bicycle? Although I gave it away, I didn't lose it. It's gone. I don't have it anymore. But it served its purpose in my life, just like my little drawback car. Because my drawback car, when I was upset because something didn't work out the way I wanted it to as a child, I had that car that I would sit down and just drive it around. And imagine myself driving on the roads in Jamaica using that car, and I would drive it around. And it made me feel better. And you might look at that and say, but that's not the same as loving someone and the relationship coming to an end. But at what point does this quote say, it is better to have loved someone and lost than to never have loved at all? It said it's better to love. And which of us have never loved? Those of us that grew up with parents or guardians, at least one of them was loved. At least one guardian, at least one parent, at least one sibling, at least one relative, at least one friend. And of those that you have come in contact with, at least one of them is not around today. But what have you gained? What happened while they were in your life? Did that make a major difference? Were you able to get away from that thing that was keeping you down by way of this individual? So when you take that into consideration, is it better to have loved or not to have loved? Because they were there for you. Someone was there for you. Let me even twist this around a little bit more. Is it better to have been loved than to never have been loved at all? Now that's a twist. Because now you are the object. How do you feel when you are now in that position? Because now you are the one that has been there for someone else. You are the one that possibly were the savior. And not so much that you are the halo and bright light and thing kind of a savior, but the one that was always able to give some sort of comfort. The one that was always able to give some advice. The one that was always there to give a shoulder, to give a helping hand to someone. And then you go away. And that person didn't have that same kind of access to you anymore. Or they went away. Or they died. Was it better for them that they had you? How many of your relationships do you look at that way? Do you look at any of them that way? Do you look at anything in your life that way? Probably not. Maybe it's time to take a different look on some things. Maybe. Just maybe. Hey Marlon, how you doing, bro? Welcome back to this side of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, you can catch Marlon Borrell on Reggae Global Radio Mondays and Wednesdays and Real Rockers at 7 p.m. Eastern. He's a reggae music edutainer extraordinaire. You missed him today, but Monday is coming. So you can catch him then. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we talk some more. I have a couple of articles here I want to go through, looking at the question, is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? We'll be right back. Facebook Live, this is where we're going to part company. Remember, kevinstew.com, come on over, jump in the stew pot, be interactive. All right? Catch you later.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover. Or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Imagine having our own Caribbean Center.
Imagine a museum highlighting our history and the contributions of Caribbean people to the world.
Imagine being able to visit and learn about the islands we call home.
In a place where our kids can see and feel their cultural heritage. You can make this vision come to life.
Help us create this first of its kind space
that all Caribbean people can be proud of. Your contribution to Island Space Caribbean Museum will help this dream come true.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe and donate today.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
and in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today?
The only thing I didn't learn?
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Teddy Greaves Jr. with 6 brand new songs out now on his brand new EP, Teddy Greaves Jr. with songs you know and love like Can You Stop the Rain? One Last Cry. Can't Get Over You. Wait Too Long. You and I. And One Last Cry, the acoustic version. Teddy Greaves Jr., now available on all major digital platforms. Teddy Greaves Jr.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin's Jew, working on the night shift. The night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin's Jew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine to representing word and honor. Still I say DJ Kevin's Jew.
It's late December. You've been gone for a while. I just can't remember when's the last time I kissed that smile. I miss you and I together, right by the fireside. Still this picture of you and I brought tears to my heart. For Christmas, all that I need is you next to me in my arms. For Christmas, all that I need is you here with me in my arms. For Christmas, you're all I need. It's Christmas. just us for this Christmas. You bring me joy, just like joy for Christmas. All that I need.
The sound of Joanna Marie bringing us back from the break. Title of the track, For Christmas. It's her very first Christmas song. And what a beautiful song it is. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist coming to you, operating out of Broward County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties. Yeah, you heard me right. She comes to you. Give her a call. She brings her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience when you call her up. 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. You can email her at thealater@att.net. That's THEALATER at att.net. She only has one request outside of paying her, is that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. I think I made it bad for everybody. But give her a call and set up your appointment today. 954-655-9000. Thank you, Althea. Oh, by the way, she's also a personal trainer. And she brings that service to you also. What a package it is to give her a call and get a massage therapist and a personal trainer in one call. So, the Huffington Post had an article courtesy of sex and relationship researcher Dr. Kristen Mark. And it speaks to the question. The same question. Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? And it reads, regret, the negative emotion associated with realizing a different past decision may have brought a better outcome than what really transpired. Let me pause on that for a moment, because I don't know if we actually look at regret in that sense. We think that if we made a different decision, that something else could have happened, and we wallow in the shoulda, coulda, woulda versus what is. But this regret accompanies a lot of failed marriages. And with a divorce rate of around 50%, although that is a little bit of a misleading statistic if you break it down into subgroups, but nonetheless, I always say 100% of divorces start in marriage. So work on that statistic. Take it whichever way you wish and use it however you feel. Or not. According to a study published back in 2011, the biggest regret on America's mind is actually a romantic one. University of Illinois, Mike Morrison, and Northwestern University's Neil Rose led a nationally representative phone survey of 370 adults who were asked to detail their biggest regret. Almost 20% of those surveyed cited romantic regret as their primary regret. That was the largest of all the categories. Go figure. Women cited a romantic regret more than twice as often as men, 44% versus 19%, respectively. And men cited more work-oriented regret than women, And that was 34% versus 27%. Not that much of a difference. The most interesting finding in this study was that those who regretted inactions held on to the regret longer than those who felt the regret was based on action. So, the inaction being the fact that they did not do something, but they wished they would have. They held on to that longer than those that said they did something but wish they didn't. When women were asked to submit their biggest romantic regrets to HuffPost women via Twitter, themes of holding on to a relationship for too long, choosing the wrong type of partner, not taking certain advice were big ones. Similarly, the descriptions of the romantic regrets in Morrison and Rose's study focused around lost chances at potential romance and relationships that didn't live up to their potential. Now, I kind of have to pause on that one, because who determines the potential of a particular relationship when you get into it? What is it that you go into relationships with? Is it the hope that it is going to develop into this happily ever after? The one where you ride off into the sunset and everything becomes perfect. You have the perfect relationship, you have the perfect house, you have the perfect kids, you have the perfect pets, you find the perfect vehicle, and you have the perfect manicured lawn. What is this relationship that didn't work out the way you wanted it to? The potential was not realized. Was it a realistic potential? Or was it just a dream based on what you have read in novels somewhere or seen on TV? What was it? Or did you go into your relationship knowing that, hey, I bring me, a flawed individual, and I'm assuming that you are also flawed. And with that, there's the hope that we can make something great of this, however long it lasts. Because I think going into a relationship with something like that in mind changes how the relationship flows, and even if it ends, it changes how it ends. Now, of course, I could be wrong, but have you tried it? Or have you gone with the narrative that everyone else uses because it's easy to do? 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. I want y'all to interact with me. Jump into the stew pot on kevinstew.com. Bubble up, simmer down, share with me. Give me your views. You can remain anonymous, and again, it's a judgment-free zone, so I take all opinions and feedback. Tell me I'm talking foolishness, that's fine. Don't just tell me that and leave in a vacuum, though. Tell me why you think I'm talking foolishness. Let's talk about it. Let's learn from each other. Because that's the whole idea. That's what having acceptance through enlightenment, that's what it brings. It brings your views and my views, and we'll put them together, and then we grow from it because we learn something from each other. And I may not agree with you. It's not having acceptance through enlightenment. It's not having agreement through enlightenment. It's having acceptance. So I'm going to accept your position. I may not agree with it, and you may not agree with mine, but you accept it, and we learn to accept each other that way because we accept each other's flaws as we see them. Because that flaw that you see in me, I may not see it as a flaw in me, and someone else may not have seen that as a flaw. But because of what you, how you view things, how you view your potential partner, how you view your potential friends, how you view individuals that should be in your life, something that I do may appear to be flawed. In reality, it may be my reality. It may be my truth. It may be my true self. It may be that fact that I stopped doing what you thought was ideal because I didn't see it as ideal. And if I did it, I was just putting on a show. Which one would you prefer? Meeting up to your expectations because that's what you want by me putting on a show, or me being real and you accepting me as I am? So here it is. Individuals get into these relationships and they have loved, and the potential relationship that they have seen has faltered along the way because it didn't meet up to their expectation as they saw it. What was your potential relationship goal that was not met? Going back to the article, as noted above, taking action is better than sitting back and not doing anything about it. Although romantic regret is difficult, it lingers more when we regret not doing something than it does when we regret doing something. In the Morrison and Rose study, the participants who were the most likely to have romantic regrets were the ones who were not currently in a relationship. Go figure. They didn't find a replacement. The famous quote from Alfred Lord Tennyson, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." Don't you just love the word "tis"? Is particularly relevant. Although romantic regret can be difficult to handle, it also serves an important purpose. It shapes the way you handle future relationships. You heard Laura's comment. I read Laura's comment earlier about learning from those experiences. This is what they're talking about right here. Learning from the regret and using it for a positive course of action can help to make the mistakes you've made in the past worth it. It's how we learn life lessons. We learn from our mistakes. So, there are some people that think everything needs to be perfect. You need to always get something right. If you don't get something wrong, how do you know that you have learned something? And I'm not saying that it is wrong to not get things wrong, because you learned it right the first time from the person that did get it wrong. But acknowledge the fact that somebody got it wrong in order for you to get it right, even if that person was you. Tell the truth. Express your feelings. If you like someone, tell them. If you don't, leave, or at least be upfront with them about it. Life should be just that simple. This research on romantic regret sheds light on the importance of taking chances, especially when it comes to love. So, in asking the question, is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? Well, Dr. Kristen Mark says an absolute yes. But here's my question to Dr. Mark. What has your experience been? How do you take it? How do you, from a personal point of view, look at the whole relationship thing and having loved and lost that love? Because I don't know how many have been in the situation where they thought that the love that they had or even currently have is it. They've never had one like this before, and nothing else will be able to compare to this. Now, if it is one that if that was your experience with a prior relationship, are you saying that you'd have been better off never being in that relationship? If your answer is that it is not better to have loved than lost, are you saying that you would be better off not being in any relationship at all to have gone through that experience? So when people come to you, when God forbid you have a child, and that child is now having their first breakup, how do you advise, how do you guide that child? Because I don't think you can eliminate the fact that having gone through something and have that experience, it puts you in a position more of an expert than not. So here it is, you have gone through this experience of love. This relationship that could have made it, but didn't. Is it to say, boy, I'm never going to do this again. Ever. Because I don't want to ever have to go through this pain again. But when you went into this relationship, you did not enter it with the thought of ending it or it ending. But things happen. Things that you have no control over. So if it goes south and it ends, is it better? Would it have been better for you to not be in it? So you didn't learn something, so you didn't have the experience, you didn't have that blissful period of time when nothing mattered other than the fact that and if something did matter, you could easily take it on because you knew you had the support of someone else that was there for you no matter what. And that leads me to something else. It leads me to the thought of unconditional love. And I had a conversation with someone about that. And she said, I don't ever want to be in a relationship where someone loves me unconditionally because I am not going to love them unconditionally. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not going to love them unconditionally? She said, listen, I don't love that way. I love with conditions. If you don't treat me right, then you are not getting my love. And I was like, okay. Let's go into this a little bit more. Treat you right how? Because I could have been brought up a certain way and learned as a product of my environment that love looks like this particular thing, which in your eyes is not good. So here you are. I am giving you my love as I know it. And you are telling me that my love is bad because that is how you're receiving it. So I'm giving all that I can give, all I know how to give. But you're saying I don't love you because that's not the way how you receive it. So now where do we go? And of course, everyone would say this is where communication comes in. Because now I have to know how you want to receive love. Now, if I can't give you love the way how you want it, and vice versa, or vice versa, is that relationship really doomed or destined to fail? I guess you could say yes. Because Now you have one person giving love a certain way and the other person receiving it and not feeling good about it. So if you're giving love and not receiving it well, then clearly it cannot work. Because the person receiving the love will never feel like they're loved. And if you're not feeling it, you may as well not have been giving it. So, with talking to her somewhere, I saw where she was coming from. I understood. And it made me wonder about the concept of unconditional love all over again. But when you love someone, is it because of what they do or who they are, or is it because of what you do and who you are? And I guess it's different when you love someone versus when you're in a loving relationship with someone. Because one of them is something you give and the other one is reciprocal. But at what point do you differentiate the two? At what point does one stop and the other start? I wonder, don't you? We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more. Call your friends, tell your friends. Friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. This is a night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, Real Talk. Our topic, better to have loved? Yes or no? What say you? We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise. Matthew 28:9.
Yes, my people. Check out I Red Funks on Reggae Global Radio every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Stew, where I'll give you a pre-life. Brand new. Good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't say a dance song. You hear that?
Reggae Global Entertainment presents the brand new self-titled album from Yishka with 9 great songs. Oh, Baby, Let Me Love You. Be Grateful for Life. Shake You Down. What else can I do? Babe, Come Over. My. It's our time.
You know I love you.
For your love. I'm Falling. Yishka. 9 great songs. Available on all streaming platforms. Available now. Making great music is one thing. Sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
wanna wait in vain. Love hurts, but I love the pain. Shots of Novocaine through my brain. I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me crazy. Without you everything seem easy. Stay close to me where you're supposed to be. You say I'm selfish cause I need you for myself. It's bad for my health, girl, but I don't want nobody else, yeah. And I know I could be a little extreme. You brighten up my world like I beam. Enough of them I say, oh, love is blinding, but you bring the clarity like me Visine. The girl of my dreams, I melt like ice cream. Anytime you're around, I'm in the presence of a queen. You show me love that's sweet like 16. Or a fruit from a tree, or a cool summer breeze, yeah. That's why me can't stand to lose you. But you're moving away and I can feel it. Now you're telling me you need some space. My mind just start figure race. That's why I don't wanna wait in vain. Love hurts, but I love the pain. Shots of Novocaine through my brain. I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me crazy. Without you everything seem easy. Stay close to me where you're supposed to be. Don't give up on me now. Can't let the negativity come between us, girl. I know you got your fears, anxiety and despair. Talk to me, don't push me away. I need to hear all the words you've got to say. We can take it day by day. So baby, won't you just stay here? If you leave me, I will cry until me eye them run dry. Can't sit down cause you know I am a stand-up guy. Without you, every little thing won't be alright now. Through the darkness, you were my light. So right to know I'm just lost in the night. I might be okay, then again I may never, cause we belong together. You know that I don't wanna wait in vain. Love hurts, but I love the pain. Shots of Novocaine through my brain.
The sound of Paul Anthony.
Go insane.
A track called Love Hurts.
If I did it would drive me crazy. Without you everything seem easy. Stay close.
Man say listen, love hurts, but I don't wanna feel the pain.
Love hurts, but I love the pain.
No, he says I love the pain. That's what he says.
I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby.
And he doesn't want to lose her, but he wants to feel the pain.
Stay close to me where you're supposed to be. Don't give up on me now. Can't let the negativity come between us, girl. I know you got your fears, anxiety and despair. Talk to me, don't push me away. I need to hear all the words.
Want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Reggae Global Entertainment.
So baby, won't you just stay here?
Reggae Global act as your booking agent, handle your tour management,
I them run dry, can't sit down.
take care of your legal contracts, your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more.
In the night, I might be okay, then again I may never, cause we belong together.
Give them a call, 954-804-8199, or check them out online, reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
Through my brain, I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me.
I don't want to lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me crazy, but love hurts me. And I want to feel that pain.
I love the pain. Shots of Novocaine through my brain. I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me.
So it would drive me crazy if you stick around and I feel the pain. It would drive me crazy if you go away. At what point do we find that safe ground, that good ground, that one place that works? I got a message here that said, my dad told me the night before my wedding, to love is to suffer. So in order not to suffer, one must not love. Alright, so I guess that kind of speaks to Paul Anthony, or relates to what Paul Anthony was saying in that song. You know, love hurts, but I love the pain. So I'd love to have spoken to your dad to see what he meant when he said those words. To love is to suffer. Is it meaning that in order to love, one must make sacrifices? Or is it just that because you love, sacrifices are made? We go through our lives at some point in time sacrificing more for some than for others. Those who are parents will always sacrifice for their children. They'll always give up something they want so that their child can have something either they need or something that they want. And that's just because of love. So, was that said as a deterrent or as a reminder? Because it all depends on how you receive it. And I am thinking it was a reminder. It's a reminder that there are going to be trying times. But because there is love, even with the trying times when they come, you can persevere, you can make it through. And if there are no trying times, you need to be careful because that may mean that there's an absence of love. So, your father may have been onto something big. We just don't know how he meant it. Did you ever go on to ask him what he meant by that? It makes one wonder. There's an article here by Emily Henderson. Well, it was reviewed by Emily Henderson in newsmedical.net. And it says people who have loved and lost are just as happy toward the end of life. Now, when I saw that, I was like, just as happy as who? What's that being compared to? What's that level of happiness being compared to? And it goes on to say researchers from Michigan State University conducted one of the first studies of its kind to quantify the happiness of married, formerly married, and single people at the end of their lives to find out just how much love and marriage played into overall well-being. It is said love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage, but do they really? The study, published in the Journal of Positive Psychology, examined the relationship histories of 7,532 people followed from ages 18 to 60 to determine who reported to be happiest at the end of their lives. This is one heck of a study, because you're gonna kind of have to determine at what point someone's life is ending. People often think that they need to be married to be happy. So we ask the questions, do people need to be in a relationship to be happy? Does living single your whole life translate to unhappiness? What about if you were married at some point, but it didn't work out? This, said William Chopik, MSU Assistant Professor of Psychology and co-author of the paper. Turns out, staking your happiness on being married is not a sure bet. Who would have thunk it? Chopak and Mariah Purall, MSU Psychology master's student and co-author, found that participants fell into one of three groups. 79% were consistently married, spending the majority of their lives in one marriage. 8% were consistently single, or people who spent most of their lives unmarried. And 13 had varied histories, or a history of moving in and out of relationships, divorce, remarrying, or becoming widowed. The researchers then asked participants to rate overall happiness when they were older adults and compared it to the group with the group in which they fell. We were surprised to find that lifelong singles and those who had varied relationship histories didn't differ in how happy they were. This said Pural. And she goes on to say, this suggests that those who have loved and lost are just as happy toward the end of life than those who never loved at all. Interesting, huh? While married people showed a slight uptick in happiness, Pural said the margin was not substantial, nor what many may expect. If the consistently married group answered a 4 out of 5 on how happy they were, consistently single people answered a 3.82, and those with varied history answered a 3.7. That's not much of a disparity. So, if someone longs for a lifelong partner to start a family and build a happy life together, Chopik and Pural's research suggests that if an individual isn't completely happy to begin with, getting married will not likely dramatically change it at all. It seems like it may be less about the marriage and more about the mindset. If you can find happiness and fulfillment as a single person, you'll likely hold on to that happiness, whether there's a ring on your finger or not, says Pural. And I think that right there is the defining moment. I think that is the icing on the cake. There's one more article that I was going to look at, courtesy of Psychology Today, where I say, yes, it is better to have loved than lost. But I don't think I really need to. I can get into musical therapy at this point and have a little bit of an extended musical therapy. Because here's what we have come to realize as a result of that particular article. And they're saying, if you are not happy within yourself, it doesn't really matter if love comes your way or if love doesn't come your way. You will not be happy at all. So, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it. It all starts with self. You, the individual, where do you stand with whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're going through? Where do you stand? Where do you stand with your happiness? Are you relying on external forces to make your happiness real? Or are you taking it upon yourself to recognize that without you, there is no happiness in your life? So you don't need an external factor to bring you happiness. Where do you stand with that? Do you recognize that your child brings you a whole lot of joy, as well as they should? But that happiness, is that coming from them too? And if so, then you're riding for a fall, because that child is going to grow up and have a life of their own. So at some point in time, that child is going to leave. And they should, because they have lives. They're an individual. And they should not be living your life because you've lived yours. And you should live yours independently of them. If you want your child to be happy, you need to show them what happiness looks like, and you need to adopt happiness for yourself. If you want your partner to be happy, you need to do the same. So how can you get into a relationship looking for that happiness, looking for that happily ever after, if you're not bringing any of it Where does that happen? So now, do you end up loving and losing as a result of the relationship failing because of your expectations? Or is it failing because you fail to bring to the table what you should have for yourself? Why is that relationship failing? Is it just a matter of incompatibility, but what your eyes saw was what drew you together? So it was just all superficial, and then you got deeper and realized that it's not going to work out. Is that loving and losing? No, that's testing the waters and realizing that it's not work, so it doesn't work out for you. So you shouldn't put it in the category of loving and losing. You put it in the category of testing and failing, which is fine because you learn from those failures. Nobody created any of the things that we use today just one go, and it was perfect. Everything have a history of failure to it before it became the thing that we use today. Because you had trial and error. And each time there was an error, you tweaked something to make it better, to fix that error. Same thing we need to do with ourselves and our relationships. As they fail, we tweak something and make it a little bit better. But ultimately, that thing needs to be us. It needs to be the individual. It needs to start with self. And we need to recognize who we are. We need to learn who we are. There's an article here from the Deccan Herald, deccanherald.com, where in it they say, contrary to what it seems, love is not a momentary or an impulsive feeling. It's a choice to care for another despite not knowing what could become of that choice. Yet the amazing outcome of the choice is that it multiplies our happiness, divides our burdens, and leads us to a meaningful companionship to live life together in ways that will be fulfilling and liberating. By choosing to rough it out together in spite of differences and conflicts, the journey of life unfolds into an adventure we rather not experience alone without a significant other to share it with. But you have to be open to experience that. You have to be willing to share of yourself and know what it is that you're sharing of self with someone else to experience that. It goes on to say it is a fact that love can also enhance our well-being and optimism. We are most alive when we are in love. Love acts as a natural defense to face life's troubles with fortitude. And yet, we know just as plainly that it takes a lifetime's work to live daily the love that is professed over a romantic Valentine's Day celebration. For beneath the surface of romance, the spirit of love has to be dug out just as a fossil of great value submerged deep in the ground would have to be excavated. The digging calls for determination and the humane tools of patience, kindness, and empathy. With these tools dwindling in the modern era, has it become a daunting task to the younger generation of our times to really endure in love? I go back to knowing that love within ourselves, doing that excavation in self first. Because if you don't know what you have, you don't know what you can give. And you won't know what to ask for. Love yourself. Know what that feels like. Before going into a relationship expecting to get something out of it that you don't know how to get for yourself. And people tend to be afraid of those that love themselves and are happy by themselves because they feel that they cannot be their all. But why would you want to be someone's all? They're all by themselves. Why not just go in and complement it? And just make everything gravy, just sweet. just icing on the cake. Just right. As we kick off musical therapy tonight, as we ask the question, is it better to have loved?
My favorite quote on my
This is Kovan.
You're my warmth.
The track is called You Make Me Right.
This song is my appreciation for your love.
I want to thank my friend Janice for introducing me to this one.
You are the melody to my song, my favorite chord on my guitar. You're my warmth on a cold night. This song is my appreciation for your love. 'Cause maybe I don't say it enough, but woman, you make me strong. You light up my life. Your voice is my song. You make me right. You make me right. For all you give me every day. The question is, you make me right. I wanna thank you every day. The rocky road with you is fine. Girl, I'm well because I know you're mine. Give me your smile is everything. Baby, you're the beat that makes my heart. You make my heart sing. 'Cause maybe I don't say it enough. Woman, you make me strong. You light up my life. And your voice is my song. And baby, I don't show it enough. But you taught me love. You showed me love. Ooh, you make me right. You make me You make me
This is the sound of J Beats working out with Zerby and Young Rich. It's called Umet Condoname.
Someday
m'être condamné. Ou 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 m'être condamné. Mwen d'akor, a tout sa ou vle. Ou mèk maltrete, chéri mwen pa prale. La ma pied, jure devant mon Dieu. L'homme sa gen pou donner pour l'éternité.
Connecting with my Haitian family.
Yeah, si tout ça te compte fort longtemps, yo m'a récolté.
Getting some compa in the mix.
Ou pa pale, ou ma remis nou tan kou pep la ki pral révolté. Oh non, mwen pa fâché, mami c'est.
Yeah man, it's musical therapy.
Tu acquise sans évidence ou condamné. T'es avisé l'amour, c'est ça faut toujours habiter. Mais face à chéri, mwen vraiment connais qui ça mwen vle.
Thank you to McNeil Trucking.
Ou c'est soleil qui fait journée briller. Ou mettre lâcher ma baille quoi chéri fait sans couler. Ou posséder l'esprit mamie.
With McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands. They're licensed and insured movers. Give them a call, 954-406-9740. This track is called Eres, courtesy of Baleguero.
Que me provoca cosas buenas. Eres, que me quita todas las penas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sé que no necesito llenarte de flores. Para que llenes mis días de colores. Solo necesito que tú me acalores. Y así sé que se irán todos mis temores. Eres, que me provoca cosas buenas. Eres, que me quita todas las penas. Eres, que me provoca cosas buenas. Eres, que me quita todas las penas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y si por ti yo tuviera que apostar, lo daría todo y más sin pensar, porque eres lo mejor que me podía pasar. Créeme que no te dejaría escapar. Eres, que me provoca cosas buenas. Que me quita todas las penas. Eres, que me provoca cosas buenas. Eres, que me quita todas las penas. Entre tú y yo no hay condenas. Nuestro amor no se corta como cadenas. A diario se alimenta, se sirve como cena, porque solo así el corazón se llena. Entre tú y yo no hay condenas. Nuestro amor no se corta como cadenas. A diario se alimenta, se sirve como cena, porque solo así el corazón se llena. Que me provoca cosas buenas. Que me quita todas las penas. Que me provoca cosas buenas. Que me quita todas las penas.
This is the sound of Kirk Davis. You might know him as Little Kirk. track is called The Way That's the Way Love Goes. This is the sound of Shamika singing that JC Lodge classic, Someone Loves You, Honey.
I'm so glad I'm the one that you talk to when you need someone. Yeah, that's what my love is for. It's a shoulder to lean on, a boat in the storm. Remember, someone loves you, honey. No matter what, just want you to be my guy. Someone loves you, honey, more than anything in the world.
Last night I had a crazy dream. And wish was granted just for me. I didn't ask for money or a mansion in Malibu. I simply wished for one more day with you.
This is the sound of Marty Dread.
One more
His rendition of One More Day.
One more sunset, baby, I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you. First thing I do is pray for time to crawl. Unplug the telephone, turn the TV off. I'd hold you every second, say a million I love yous. That's what I do with one more day with you. One more day, one more time, one more sunset, baby, I'd be satisfied. But then again, I know what it would do. Leave me wishing still for one more day with you.
This is the sound of Lee Kelly.
Had a little candlelight and the scent of your sweet perfume.
The track is called Magic.
Hocus pocus.
Let me see what kind of magic I can wield tonight as we bounce through musical therapy.
I thought I'm about to show you tonight. I can do magic. Whoa, one snap of a finger, girl. I perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, I can do magic. Girl, all you gotta do is dim the lights. I perform a trick or two, baby. Cause I can do magic. I ain't no psychic, but I know just what you need, girl. You don't have to write it. Just looking at your body, I can read, yeah. You're giving me the eye, and it's making me want you back, girl. Turn around, and guess what's in my hand? Yeah. One snap of a finger, girl. I'll perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, yeah. Magic, all you gotta do is in the light. Baby, I can do magic. I make your home disappear. Out of nowhere, there to rule appear. They say you know it's you and me. Ooh, baby girl, still leave. You see what I'm about to do. Wishes come through. All right. My hand, there goes your glow. This is something you should know. One snap of a finger, girl. I'll perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, yeah. Magic. All you gotta do is dim the light. Baby, I can do magic.
On the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trip,
This is the sound of G-Mac.
how much fun it's gonna be together.
His rendition of This Christmas.
This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas
of December, I open up my eyes to jingle bells.
This is the sound of Maurice Gregory.
The night before, so anxious.
It's called Christmas in the Air.
Lay awake, but my eyes wide shut. I fell into a dream. Made all my plans for the special day. Things I would do, things I wanna say. Yeah, feel the Christmas in the air. Yeah, share all the gifts with everybody, spread some cheer. Yeah, I see the Christmas everywhere. Yeah, Christmas. Yeah, I'm happy it's Christmas. I have now awakened. I just stand up and waiting for everyone to gather around the tree. I want to see if my wish was anywhere on my list. I hope it's somewhere hidden beneath the tree. Made all my plans for the special day. Things I would do, things I wanna say. Yeah, feel the Christmas in the air. Yeah, share all the gifts with everybody, spread some cheer. Yeah, I see the Christmas everywhere. Yeah, Christmas. Yeah, I'm happy it's Christmas.
This is from the Heavy Beats Reggae Christmas album, or Heavy Beats Christmas compilation. This is the sound of Kashif Lindo. It's called Christmas Together.
A night so dark can never be. What joy to see a world that smiles. Should let it last for more than just a while. It's Christmas again. Love is a message our world will send. It's Christmas together.
Time of the year, lights in the streets spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe.
The sound of Ed Robinson.
Gonna miss out on the holidays, but I can't stop staring at your face.
Track called Mistletoe.
Playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shorty with you, shorty with you.
I'll be right here with you.
Under the mistletoe, everyone's gathering around the fire. Chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with my folks, I know, but I'll be under the mistletoe. Word on the street, Santa's coming tonight. Reindeer flying through the sky so high. I should be making my list, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shorty with you, shorty with you, shorty with you, shorty with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. Shorty with you, shorty with you, shorty with you, baby with you. Under the mistletoe, oh yeah. The wise men follow the star, where I follow my heart, and it led me to a miracle and love. Don't you buy me a thing, no, 'cause I am feeling one thing. Your lips on my lips, that's a merry, merry Christmas. Show me with you, yeah. Show me with you, yeah. Show with you, yeah. With you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. I don't wanna miss out on the holidays, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Share me with you, yeah. Share me with you, yeah. Share with you, share with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah, baby. Share me with you, share me with you, yeah. Oh yeah, under the mistletoe. For you, there is no mountain I wanna climb, no treasure I wanna find. I'll turn the ends of time for you, for you. I'll be your cover.
This is a well-presented rendition of this track by IKEA.
Time for you. I'll be your strength, your company, your friend, and your lover. I'll be there when you cry, to dry your eyes, keep you warm, shelter you from the storm.
Immortalized by Dennis Emmanuel Brown.
There is no cup I would not fill, no string I would not pull, no place I would not go for you. For you, I'd be right there when you call. You cushion if you fall, and I'll be standing tall for you. I'll be your friend, company, your friend and your lover. I'll be there when you cry, to dry your eyes, keep you warm, shelter you from the storm. Oh, yeah. La, 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 la. I'll be your strength, your company, your friend and your lover. I'll be there when you cry, to dry your eyes, keep you warm, shelter you from the storm. For you, there is no love I would not fool, no strings I would not pull, no place I would not go. For you, yeah. I'll be right there when you call. Your cushion if you fall, and I'll be standing tall for you.
Girl, I promise I will be there for you through the ups and the downs. You can
This is the sound of J. Will working out to the Raps and Kush band.
cover your feeling.
It's called There For You.
I will be there for you.
As I try to be every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday,
Me when the chips are
10 p.m. Eastern, right here on kevinstew.com.
You can count on me when skies look gray. Yeah. And girl, I want you to know that you're my best friend, and no tide could ever drift me away. Girl, I promise I will be there for you through the ups and the downs. You can count on me. lonely, I will be there for you, yeah, for you, yeah. Loving you is a pleasure for me, baby, believe me. Just the person you are, you're making it easy. I'm gonna be there for you, baby, believe me. I'm open like a book so you can read me.
Thank you, cuz.
And I promise I will be.
I won't be making any promises to anyone, but I will give you my word.
And the downs
as best as I can, I will be here for you. I want to thank you all for the support and the love.
I will be there.
Remember, as you go forth, look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the plane, the boat, the bus, the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. Thanks to my affiliates. Much love to you. Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com, NIE Radio to New Jersey, CR7, PEMGTV.com, The Stew Pot on Zeno FM. I truly appreciate love each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a good night. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the Stew Pot, where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.